Hi guys, feeling a bit better now. Throat's a bit better, not quite back to normal. Welcome to Defending Elvis. Bear with my throat, a bit croaky. I actually, within myself, feel pretty good. Got loads of energy, but I am chesty. My breathing is a bit not quite normal, and I am a bit coffee. But I still feel strong. So we're going to do part two. We've already done part one. So the stick gummies. This is a real eye opener. You must watch part one, guys. A lot of what's in part one you already know. I still think it's important to watch it. It refreshes us concerning just how greedy and horrible Priscilla was. Once she starts her tirade of unfaithfulness, you know, this sweet innocent virgin Priscilla, allegedly. Once the double life Priscilla was living begins, because let's face it, guys, Priscilla lived a double life. She had the pretending life that she was loyal and faithful to Elvis, and she was a virgin, and she just happened to be introduced to Elvis accidentally. This bullshit story that is in a bullshit book, Elvis and Me, total bullshit. Yeah, the Priscilla worshippers believe every word of it, just as they will believe every word of this bullshit book. To me, a pack of lies. History altered to suit Priscilla, because really everything I say is for entertainment purposes, just an opinion, not a fact. Oh, what a beautiful coffee. I want to make it hotter. But Priscilla and her double life, quite amusing, because I think for decades, millions have ignored that Priscilla led a double life. Right. I got to have a coffee, guys, because it'll wake me up a bit. I still, I need to, instead of being the $5 million man, I need to be the $6 million man. So we're up to 5. We need to get to 6. The coffee is going to get it, baby. Right. Okay. A double life. She has led a double life. Right from even in the early 50s. Seriously, guys. The book Child Bride exposes that there's much more to Priscilla's story than the one that we were lied to about. Oh, I was in the Eagles club and Cary Grant came over and said, oh, do you want to meet Elvis? The new version now is that she was crying, writing in her diary. Yeah. She alters it. Many of the stories have been altered. The other day, a weird thing, I still haven't figured it out, where she said, Elvis, she was singing, like, I didn't get it, singing with Elvis when she was 14 or 15. I'm on about, go and watch the interviews, guys. She really does make a fool of herself. Anyone that's got any basic knowledge, basic research, knows that she's winging it. Priscilla is winging it as she goes along, and she has done since the 50s. Yeah. So anyone that thinks Priscilla is this innocent person that happened to accidentally meet Elvis, the rest is history. This virgin, sorry, I have to laugh at that. She lived a double life, guys. Eventually, when she does manage to blag her way into Elvis's life, after not seeing him for 2 years and 3 months, they only briefly met in Bad Nauheim for between 4 and 6 months. And how many times did Elvis see her as a friend? No sex in that time. No one knows what went on. What we do know is Elvis was with Anita Wood. I know she was in America, regularly visiting Graceland's, Elvis had other girlfriends. Come on, Elvis, especially at that age, he liked the ladies. He was enjoying being in Germany. He had as many as 4 different girlfriends. Priscilla is just one of the people that he was introduced to. Now, remember, in the 50s, the age that men would become friendly with girls was very, very different. Being a friend with a girl, you know, a teenager. When I say teenager, I am talking 16 sort of age, was pretty normal in the 50s and 60s. So, you know, Billy Smith marrying Joe Smith at 15, he was 18, wasn't shocking then. It is now, of course. Now we would never accept that. Yeah. So my point, I'm trying to say, the double life that Priscilla Presley lived. So she moves over to America. She visits a few times, doesn't she? Yeah. In Gracelands. Could you imagine her moving from that normal existence with her parents? Some say that she was pushed into it, encouraged by her parents. That Elvis was being tricked and what's the word? It's like some kind of secret plan to meet Elvis, to get to Elvis, the millionaire, the superstar, the most famous, best looking man on the planet. Possibilities that behind the scenes there was a plan to get to Elvis, his millions. Eventually she visits a few times. Eventually, you know, you can't deny that Elvis must have liked her. You cannot deny that. He remembered that young lady, that young girl that he met in 59. Now, what goes on to happen after that? It's very complicated. Pretty obvious. Elvis lived as a single man the first few years that Priscilla was there. Of course, he's in his 20s. He's a rock and roll superstar, a beautiful man. Of course, he liked the ladies. Why wouldn't he? Any man would, especially in his position. Somehow, who knows what? Eventually, it's how can I say it? Some say it was blackmail. No one really knows what went on behind closed doors with Priscilla's parents, with Colonel Tom Parker, with Vernon, and with Elvis. What really went on to get to the point where they get engaged and married, and then the double life starts. Yeah, we don't really know what Priscilla's behaviour was before the engagement in 1966, December. There are rumours that Priscilla had seen another person or had crushes on other men, you know, while she was at Graceland's living with Elvis. So there's more to it, but it's just alleged, you know. So they get married. Remember, she starts seeing Steve Peck. You've heard it all before. She's having dance lessons. There's a possibility that Priscilla and Steve Peck were friends even during the pregnancy, because when Priscilla is finally unfaithful, yeah, in 68, a few months after Lisa was born, so what, March, April, yeah, 1968, within a year of the marriage, yeah, this is the double life. So Steve Peck may have been secretly seeing her before even the baby was born. Possible, guys, because it wouldn't have been a one-night stand. Yeah, it was literally couple of months after. Some say 6 weeks after poor Lisa Marie was born. You know, Elvis obviously he's trying to be there because he wanted to be there for them through the marriage, through the pregnancy. Obviously, he still had to work, guys. I think he was doing the movies then. So he was doing 2 or 3 a year. Yeah, some years 3. He did try to get back as often as possible. So he was away a lot. Let's be honest. We don't really know what Elvis was up to. But what is possible is that he may have tried to stay faithful and loyal through the marriage, the first year of the marriage, through the pregnancy. You know, we have to remember, I know that people think Elvis was this wild man, you know, only interested in his next conquests with women, but there was much more to Elvis. A very, very intelligent man, a spiritual man, a very religious man. Yeah, a real God-fearing Bible. You know, he would have the Bible. Sorry, the throat's going a bit. He would have the Bible with him and get on his knees every night and pray. So, you know, when people say, "Oh, come on, Elvis is just running around trying to shag everything," it's like Elvis was much deeper than that. But I will say this: yes, of course he fancied women, and of course stuff went on with women. Of course, he's human. He has normal temptations. He has the normal hot-blooded urges that any man would have at that age, that good looking, that gets that kind of attention. So the double life that Priscilla is leading is, she is seeing other people. First Steve Peck. We don't know what else. There's rumours of other men. But the next one we hear about is Mike Stone, the karate champion. I've said it a million times. Elvis was a massive fan of the karate world. Yeah, we could spend a whole hour talking about that. She likes Mike Stone. She goes after him. We'll do another Mike Stone review as well, because there's a lot more to say. This is the double life. Priscilla is living a double life. Yeah. So we, the public, have been basically brainwashed for the last 48, 50 years into thinking, maybe longer, into thinking that Priscilla was a complete innocent, a victim, and Elvis was the bad guy. It's literally that simple. Yeah. It's complete bullshit. Yeah. I'm not going to whitewash Elvis, say he was completely innocent. I'm saying that the double life that Priscilla was living was pretty bad. Pretty, immoral. Pretty immoral, guys. Greedy, cunning, devious, money grabbing. She was obsessed with becoming famous, with becoming Elvis. I think she envied Elvis. I think she was jealous of Elvis. She wanted to be Elvis. Everything Elvis had, she felt she deserved it. She massively has exaggerated everything in favor of herself. Yeah. And to be honest with you, she had no right to anything that Elvis had. Elvis was born with a God-given talent, not just with his voice, in so many ways: his heart, his soul, his spirit, the way he looks, the way that he impacted the world, how he could change the world like that. And he did change the world. All he had to do was walk in a room and everything changed. There was something about Elvis that just changed the molecules in the air. Even his close family and friends accept that and say that. In fact, I heard Joe Smith say it yesterday on a video. Yeah, Elvis really did transform everything. Priscilla was never going to be that Elvis, ever. She wanted to be. She envied him. I think very jealous of him. But she was never going to be that. So the double life that Priscilla Presley has lived has conned and tricked the world for many years. So this leads me on to this lawsuit. Now, there's some very, very extreme things that are being said in part one of this. This goes into detail of the divorce settlements, Priscilla's behaviour concerning the first divorce, the second divorce. I say there was a third, because I feel that once this massive debt was placed on Elvis's Graceland in April, I think, months before Elvis died, we get to see the pure greed of Priscilla Presley. I want to remind people, I don't hate Priscilla, but I do defend Elvis. I stand up for Elvis. He can't stand up for himself, so I expose her behaviour. Yeah, I do try and be fair and say, come on, Elvis made mistakes as well. Okay, so you must watch part one to understand where I'm going now with this part. This is part two. We're going to do a few more. It's probably going to be two more parts. I have to say that don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by Priscilla, her new book, her original book. Don't be fooled how she goes around the world with these sweet interviews trying to increase the sales of her book. Lying, twisting the truth, reinventing the truth. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. She's playing a cunning game. I see through it. I think many Elvis fans do. The general public, unfortunately, don't. The general public believe every word she says, and this is our problem. How do we make the general public see that she's lying? It seems almost impossible. It seems almost impossible. Yeah? So we're going to try. We're going to try and change the world. Yeah? We want the world view of Priscilla. We want them to see the real Priscilla. Sometimes it's awkward for me because I am naturally a kind, loving person. Yeah, I have a good heart. I'm very forgiving, caring. That's just my nature. So to speak about Priscilla like this, it's pretty tough for me, but tough because Elvis deserves it. Elvis deserves better. Elvis needs defending. So at the point we are with part 2 of this video, it's a very, very good YouTube channel, Law and Crime Network. Please subscribe to it. He's done some great videos already concerning the lawsuit, Bridget Cruz, Priscilla, of course. It's amazing. You know, we know Bridget Cruz obviously is in a very serious lawsuit, multiple lawsuits with Priscilla. Yeah. So where we are now is how Priscilla has literally ripped Elvis off. In my opinion, she's the where we were was she had placed this massive debt on greystands, almost stealing greystands from Elvis, in my opinion, forcing him to sell his recording rights so that she can have more money. She even wanted royalties and much, much more. Yeah, this was a very, very greedy divorce. So when Priscilla says Elvis was the love of her life, it's an absolute joke. When she says she still loves Elvis, she wants to be buried with Elvis, it's ridiculous. She's had many lovers after, many, many long-term lovers. One of them even abused her daughter, Lisa Marie, allegedly. Yeah? So the whole thing is a farce. Our job is to try and tell non-fans, the general public around the world, that they have been conned and tricked. And this is our battle. Generally, the Elvis fans know that there's a very dark side to Priscilla Presley. We know, don't we? We know. Do the general public? No. The general public have been very gullible, almost stupid, very easily conned and tricked. Even now, when you see her on these interviews, shocking how the interviewers around the world, in many countries, believe every word Priscilla says, hang on her every word, even are convinced that she still loves him and that Elvis is the love of her life without questioning her. These people never question her. They never challenge her. Elvis isn't there to defend himself, nor is poor Lisa Marie. Priscilla is trashing Elvis and Lisa Marie and Michael Jackson in her book, and Ginger Alden and other people as well. It's shocking that these people don't disagree with her. These people haven't took the time to just basically do their research, understand proper history, what's really gone on, and disagree with this Priscilla Presley, and even ask her decent questions. No one questions Priscilla in the defense of Elvis. So you get the interviewers going, yeah, you know, oh yeah, poor you. Oh no, you've suffered. You're such a victim. Oh, what did you go through? Oh, and now you've lost him. They fall for it. They're stupid. These interviewers around the world are stupid. Yeah. So I'll never understand why these interviewers, very well known, famous interviewers, journalists, call them what you want, don't think, something's not right here. Something doesn't feel right. Didn't you challenge your daughter's wishes for her will, the trust? Within 24 hours of her dying, were you after her money? Were you calling her people? Were you calling for fraud? to try and cancel out your daughter's wishes to give your inheritance to the kids. Get it? There's many things that Priscilla has done recently that expose her true colours, even in Lisa's book, From Here to the Great Unknown. Get it, guys? This book shows us something wasn't right between Lisa and Priscilla. Lisa was even thinking of suing her own mother many times, and Riley jumped in the middle, Riley Q, and prevented it, tried to make the peace, keep things going. In the name of the Presleys, let's keep a good front. Let's not have a public lawsuits between Lisa Marie and her mother, Priscilla Presley. Riley Q tried to soothe all that. Yeah. She's in an awkward place. The Presleys, one of the most famous families in the world. It's her grandmother, Nona. It's her mum, who obviously Riley adores. She's got to think about the twins as well. So the truth is, they just didn't like each other, did they? I think Priscilla was very jealous of Lisa. Very jealous. Lisa was amazing. Beautiful, stunning, intelligent, smart, fun, interesting. Lisa Marie had it all. She had it all. Yeah. So I think Lisa Marie grew as the years evolved to know the truth about her mother, and her mother had a very, very dark side. A very dark side. Yeah. I'm heartbroken that probably the last 15 years of Lisa Marie's life, she knew her mother's true side. She knew her mother had been lying for decades, not just to Lisa Marie, but also to the world. And the world had been gullible and gone along with it and fallen for every word of it. Every word, guys. Unbelievable. Literally, like, how did she get away with it? How? Why were the public so easily led by Priscilla Presley? Why was it? She had them eating out of the palm of her hands. If you look at the old interviews, going back to the early 80s, the most disgusting thing said about Elvis, and the interviewer are bought into it to get more people watching the TV programs, to make the interviewers more famous, you know, a sensationalistic topic. Elvis abusive towards poor Priscilla. Look what the monster Elvis did. Unbelievable, shocking, even though we know Elvis is one of the most beautiful, kind, loving, generous, decent men that ever lived. So what if he liked the ladies? Big deal. Is it a big deal that Elvis liked the ladies? Have you ever stopped to think maybe Elvis just liked female company, liked making friends with these women, loved to get to know them, get to know their heart? Of course, we know Elvis loved reading with his female friends, and as he got older, reading his sharing his spiritual knowledge. There's so much more to Elvis. Elvis was a very deep person, very smart, much smarter than people realize. Yeah, he wasn't just about who's the next girl I'm going to bonk, which is ridiculous. But of course, he's a man. He did have that side to him. I think more so when he was younger. Don't we all? Come on, in our 20s. Men are very different in their 20s, their late teens, than they are in their 30s, 40s. So you get what I'm trying to say to you guys. We have to fight through the smoke, clear it out the way to get to the truth. Yeah. So what I'm going to do, this has gone on a bit longer than I thought. I'm going to stop this, post it. Then we're going to come back and play part 2 of Sidebar. It's called The Big Shake Up in Bombshell Priscilla Presley lawsuit drama. Part 2 we'll play. I'm not going to do a long speech leading up to it. I'm just going to get on with it. Part 2. This is pretty amazing, very eye-opening, very interesting. This guy is brilliant. He really does have a way about him. I love his Elvis hair. He's got the proper quiff and the sideburns. My guess is that he's an Elvis fan. And why wouldn't he be? I like him. He comes across very likable. Okay, guys, that's part one. That's part two, actually, because we've already done part one. The sidebar interview coming up. I'm going to stop this now, and I'm going to start side two straight away. Then I got to go and pick up my son from his party. My son's at a party. Thanks, guys. See you soon.